Hello and welcome back to Learn Energy Healing. Today we're going to do another unusual technique and another technique that can be quite handy in situations where you're not really sure, and especially situations where you don't know where to work on the aura, whether you feel something or you don't feel something, it doesn't matter. So let's give you an example. Say you are working on a particular problem that isn't to do with a part of the physical body. Maybe it's an emotional thing. Maybe that emotion isn't particularly in any one area, but they say they feel a certain emotion, or maybe there's a certain belief they want you to work on. And again, you can't feel any particular place to work on, or maybe there's multiple places that you feel and you don't know, or where's the best place to put all of my energy, to put the focus of the healing. And especially situations where there's multiple causes, multiple things that you could be working on. This also could be useful for that as well, if you're not sure where to put all your energies. Like I've said in earlier videos, it's always good to work on the whole aura, because every part of the aura and every part of your physical body similarly helps each other. So that's always a very good place to start if you're not sure what's going to help a certain condition, a certain emotional problem, a certain spiritual problem. Working on the whole aura is great, but this is another technique, especially if you're not feeling anything in particular, don't know where to go. Wonderful technique. And what's this technique called? Well, again, it's not something I've come across out there, so I don't know if anyone else teaches this, but it's something that I came up with, and I call it the speech bubble technique. Okay, so this is how it works. So let's imagine a scenario. So again, I'm not imagining much change happening to my wife, because there's nothing in particular to work on as far as we know anyway. So say, I've scanned the aura, I'm not picking up anything in particular related to a problem. I'm feeling around, not really picking up on anything. What can I do? Well, what you can do is imagine some speech bubble, a bit like in a cartoon, and you stick the word of the problem in that speech bubble, representing the energy of the problem. So if she has a particular belief she needs to work on, a particular entity problem, a particular physical problem, doesn't really matter, just stick the word in the bubble, and then you are basically going to be healing the bubble. So let's say she has a shoulder problem, but I'm not picking up on anything in the shoulder. Maybe there's nothing there at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to imagine in my mind's eye, with the techniques in earlier videos, that there's a speech bubble here saying shoulder problem, or glenohumeral joint problem, or whatever else it may be, and just stick it in the bubble. Okay? And then, of course, at the same time, you can use other techniques and imagine that the bubble is there. Feel the edges of your imaginary bubble. Just imagine that that bubble is there, and make it more and more real in your mind. And then whatever technique you want from the earlier videos, you can use to clear the energy of the bubble. So we got shoulder problem in the bubble, and I'm just going to pick up this bubble, and I'm going to use the throw away technique, pick up and throw away. So we're just going to, off it goes. And if you've been following the last video, the last technique video at least, then you'll know the power of imagination and how that can create a shift. And that's basically the technique. When you are using whatever technique to heal the bubble, whether you're throwing it away or letting energy pass into it to dissolve it, or whatever else you may be doing, you might notice that some areas of the aura might be connected. So when I'm picking it up and throwing it away, for example, you might feel it's pulling more on one place, and it may well be the shoulder if I'm working on the shoulder problem, or it may be somewhere else not related to the shoulder, even though I'm pulling it. So you might get some clues of where to look in the aura just by starting with that. So again, I'm not expecting anything? Did you feel a little shift?
Not really, but it wasn't really a problem.
No, exactly. So unfortunately, I should really find people that have problems and bring them in and put them in a video. But the trouble is, there are issues with, people wanting to be on a video. So that's the problem, really. So that's why my wife is always the person receiving at the moment. But that's basically the idea. Similarly, if there's a particular belief you need working on, so there's money issues, you could put in here money issues in your speech bubble and just play around with it. It doesn't have to be up here, by the way. You can put it wherever you want. So maybe there's the money issue thing here. So again, I'm just going to tune into the money issues, making it nice and real. Very useful if you're not that aware of Louise Hay and Daniel Condon, people like that, all of the different books out there that relate different organs, different parts of the aura, different parts of the body to different belief systems, different diseases, then you may not have any idea of what part of the body is related to money. And I would actually say there's more than one. So the speech bubble thing might be quite a useful thing if you are dealing with beliefs and concepts surrounding quite an encompassing subject. So money, relates to power. Money relates to your ability to receive, your ability to digest, your ability to communicate. There's many, many things that could affect money in someone's life. So money in a speech bubble. And I'm going to use the allow technique this time just to see if we can shift the energy in this little speech bubble. Yeah, and my impression is you're feeling this a little bit more, aren't you?
How specific should you be in the bubble? Like, should it be money, lack of money? Do you have to be really specific in what you put in the bubble?
Feel that shift?
Yeah.
Well, this is a very good question, because the more broad you are with the word, the more things you are going to affect. So money, like I say, is a very broad subject, really, because there's many, many things that can affect money, many, many different beliefs about money, many different beliefs that are the foundation for your beliefs on money as well. So it's a very big, broad thing that you can work on. But if you are more specific with your wording, say, you have issues with spending, that's a little bit more refined, isn't it? Then you will obviously be sending energy more directly to issues surrounding spending versus money as an encompassing thing. Yeah. So let's try that. Issues with spending. And me being a healer and aware, I'm picking up on energies anyway, but we're using the bubble technique, even though I'm picking up on certain areas of aurora, as I mentioned, spending and money. So we're going to use the bubble technique, and we're going to put in that bubble spending this time. And again, we're going to use the allow technique, and my hand is, especially my right hand, is quite buzzing quite now. There we go. Ooh. That's a little bit of a shift there as well, didn't you?
Can I spend more money now?
Can you spend more money now? Maybe. So the other thing that's, has come up just from us talking here now is that sometimes mentioning a word will bring something up in the aura. If you talk about a particular thing that's an issue, especially if it's really triggering, then that can make it easier to work on that particular problem. It may make it more obvious in the aura just by talking about it.
It's weird because my hands feel really, really hot.
Yeah.
Now, after we mentioned the spending money and you did the
Yeah.
bubble on spending money, it's like my hands are burning.
Yeah.
It's really strange.
So yeah, interesting, isn't it? So that's something I will put in a future video, how to bring up energy, how to make it more obvious. So that's something we can do in the future. So there we have it, the speech bubble technique, as I'm calling it, for any time that you're not sure where to work or you can't feel anything directly. Might be useful for you. Please do like and subscribe if you'd like to support this channel, and I will see you in the next video.